Hello to everyone. This is Viewpoint on Noyan Tapan TV, and I am Benyamin Poghosyan. This time we will discuss the latest developments in Armenia-Azerbaijan negotiation process. So, what we have now? We have a situation when Brussels format facilitated by the EU is in a danger of collapse because President Aliyev rejected his participation in the scheduled December 7 meeting. Of course, there are some misunderstanding regarding the possibility or necessity of participation of President Macron in the future meetings of Brussels format. Azerbaijan believes that President of France has nothing to do with Brussels format. The participation of President Macron during the December 2021 summit in Brussels, and also his participation during the October 6 meeting between President Aliyev, Prime Minister Pashinyan, and President of the European Council Charles Michel. These participations of Macron, they were not the rules, but rather the exceptions. Armenia believes that no, President Macron should be part of the Brussels format. However, as a result of these misperceptions or perhaps misunderstandings, now Brussels format is under the danger of complete collapse. Of course, we saw that the EU Special Representative in South Caucasus, Mr. Toivoklar, he arrived in Yerevan a few days ago. Before that, he was in Baku on November 25, and definitely European Union will make efforts to revive the Brussels format. But however, the future of this format is not clear. The second format, the Washington format, which appeared immediately after the September 13-14 Azerbaijani aggression against Armenia, seemed it was more successful. There was a meeting between Secretary of Armenian Security Council, Armen Grigoryan, with top foreign policy aide to President Aliyev, Hikmet Hajiev, on September 27. Then the foreign ministers of Armenia and Azerbaijan met on November 7, 2022, again in Washington, and it seems that Americans are very close to reach some breakthrough in Armenia-Azerbaijan relations. However, recently there are also some not very clear developments going on with this format. The Secretary of Armenian Security Council, Armen Grigoryan, made a public statement that during the meeting on September 27, Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed to establish an international mechanism to facilitate the talks between Azerbaijan and Nagorno-Karabakh. Of course, it's not clear what international mechanism they discussed, because there was an OSCE Minsk group, was very active, at least until 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh Second War. Then the official position of Republic of Armenia was, immediately after the war and until summer 2022, that the negotiations should be resumed within Minsk group format, or Minsk group, its capacities and experience should be used. Now apparently Armenian government speaks about the new international mechanism to be established between Armenia, Azerbaijan and Nagorno-Karabakh to facilitate the Azerbaijan-Nagorno-Karabakh negotiations. But regardless of what does this international mechanism mean, immediately after this statement, Hikmet Hajiev, top foreign policy aide to President Aliyev, made a statement and he refuted Armen Grigoryan, telling that yes, there was a discussion in Washington about some international mechanism, but he said that Azerbaijan will never accept any international mechanism for the discussions between Azerbaijani government and, as Hajiev put, between the Azerbaijani citizens of Armenian origin, or sometimes as Azerbaijan leadership calls the so-called Armenian community of Azerbaijan. Then we had a statement from the Armen Grigoryan in the parliament that he says that no, there also were Americans in the room on September 27, so Azerbaijan cannot reject the obvious facts. Yes, there was an agreement to launch international mechanism. But interestingly, back in November 25, when President Aliyev met with the participants of this high-level international conference on Middle Corridor, held in Baku, President Aliyev also stated that Azerbaijan will never accept any international mechanism or any international involvement in any talks between Azerbaijani government and Azerbaijani citizens of Armenian origin. So we have a situation that the Brussels format is very close to collapse. There are strange developments regarding the Washington format, because Armenia argues that some agreements have been reached, Azerbaijan says that no agreements have been reached, which means that the Washington format is maybe not very useful. If Armenia and Azerbaijan, even they are not able to agree what they agreed during the meetings in this Washington format. And then we have revival of a Russian format. The last trilateral summit between President Putin, President Aliyev, and Prime Minister Pashinyan took place on October 31 in Sochi. And then recently we see the visit of the special representative of Russia for Nagorno-Karabakh and Armenia-Azerbaijan relations, Mr. Khovayev, who was in the region. So what all this means for the future of negotiations? So currently negotiations are, if not in a deadlock, but in a very dangerous moment when EU format is not functioning. There are disagreement even on what have been agreed upon during the meetings in Washington format. And also we have suggestions from Russia that Russia is ready to organize another meeting between Pashinyan and Aliyev at the margins of CIS Informal Leader Summit, which should take place until end of December 2022. Interestingly, Americans in mid-September put forward the idea that Armenia and Azerbaijan should sign a peace treaty by the end of 2022. Now we have only 3 weeks, or even less than 3 weeks left before the end of 2022. But now everyone believes that the signature of peace treaty is non-likely, and not only by the end of 2022 or even in early 2023. For example, the Secretary of Security Council of Armenia, Armen Grigoryan, mentioned in Parliament that the only thing which Armenia and Azerbaijan agreed during these intensive negotiations of the last 1 year, Brussels format, Washington format, and etc., the only thing upon which there is an agreement that Armenia and Azerbaijan should establish diplomatic relations based on Vienna Convention. Of course, it's not a really breakthrough, because everybody understands that if Armenia and Azerbaijan are ready to establish diplomatic relations, definitely this should be done within the international law, including this convention. But if on everything else, border delimitation and demarcation, future of Nagorno-Karabakh, humanitarian issues, the opening up or restoration of communications, if there are significant challenges still in place, it means that all this last year negotiation process, the 4 meetings which took place in Brussels, December 2021, April, May, August 2022, the phone calls or phone negotiations between President Macron, Charles Michel, President Aliyev, and Prime Minister Pashinyan in early February 2022. The October 6 Prague Summit and Prague Statement. Then the Geneva meeting of Armenian and Azerbaijani foreign ministers which held on October 2, 2022. The several meetings in Washington facilitated by the White House, they didn't bring anything. Because again, the only thing about which Armenia and Azerbaijan agrees is that if they will reach the spot when they are ready to establish diplomatic relations, this should be done within existing functioning norms and rules of international laws. So in the current situation, question may arise, so what's going to be next? We hear direct and clear and overt threats from Azerbaijani leadership that if there is a no peace agreement, either by the end of 2022 or in early 2023, then most probably Azerbaijan will go into another escalation. It may happen at the end of December 2022, in January, February 2023, or if winter will be an obstacle for Azerbaijan, probably Azerbaijan will escalate somewhere in March 2023. In this context, everyone who is not interested for another large-scale escalation or even war in South Caucasus between Armenia and Azerbaijan or between Azerbaijan and Nagorno-Karabakh, they should try to send signals to Azerbaijan that they will not welcome the large-scale escalation and the new war. In this case, deployment of any observer missions along Armenia-Azerbaijan border will decrease the possibility of large-scale Azerbaijani aggression against Armenia. We all know that EU observer mission or EU observer capacity was deployed in Armenia in late October 2022 with 2-month period, and this period expires in late December 2022. Currently, negotiations and discussions are underway to extend the mandate for at least another 2 months, which means at least until end of February 2023. And of course, this will be the right step to somehow prevent the new aggression by Azerbaijan against Armenia, and somehow to keep this volatile stability between Armenia and Azerbaijan. Another option to create some form of deterrence against Azerbaijani new aggression would be the deployment of CSTO observers along Armenia-Azerbaijan border. In this regard, during November 23rd with CSTO summit in Armenia, the document was discussed to facilitate the deployment of observer mission along Armenia-Azerbaijan border, CSTO observer mission. However, Armenia did not sign the agreement, saying that CSTO rejected to clearly state that there was an aggression by Azerbaijan against Armenia in September 2022. Of course, the political assessments are very important and very significant, but however, I believe that if there is an option to have CSTO observer mission, long-term observer mission along Armenia-Azerbaijan border without political assessment or political statement from CSTO regarding Azerbaijani aggression, this is option number one. And option number two, to have neither CSTO observer mission deployment along Armenia-Azerbaijan border nor CSTO political statement regarding Azerbaijani aggression against Armenia, then the first option, at least to have CSTO observers along Armenia-Azerbaijan border, will bring more benefit to Armenia. Because again, any observer mission deployed on Armenia-Azerbaijan border will decrease the possibilities of Azerbaijan to launch new aggression. And of course, Azerbaijan may try to put pressure on Nagorno-Karabakh, and on December 3rd, they already closed the Lachin corridor for several hours, and now they are trying to find some pretexts to put more pressure on Nagorno-Karabakh, to close the Lachin corridor, to meddle into the Nagorno-Karabakh issues. But let's not forget that at least there are Russian peacekeepers in Nagorno-Karabakh, so the threat of a large-scale military aggression against Nagorno-Karabakh is limited, because Azerbaijan is not able to launch large-scale military aggression against Nagorno-Karabakh without putting Russian peacekeepers on harm's way. And I don't believe that Azerbaijan is interested to have a situation when Azerbaijani soldiers will kill Russian peacekeepers. So, from this point of view, the large-scale escalation is more likely along Armenia-Azerbaijan border than against Nagorno-Karabakh. And in this context, deployment of any peacekeeper observers or peacekeeper mission, or at least a civilian observer along Armenia-Azerbaijan border, will be useful. Thus, European Union observer or mission observer capacity should continue the deployment along Armenia-Azerbaijan border, and I believe Armenia should work to bring also CSTO monitors along Armenia-Azerbaijan border. This at least will decrease the chance that Azerbaijan will again restore or resort to the large-scale use of military force. This is all for today, and we will meet soon.